If you go out there and you ask a lady or a guy, what do you look out for in choosing a partner? The response you often get is, I want a God fearing man, or I want a God fearing woman. And then I ask myself, what is or who is a God fearing man? What does it mean to say that one is a God fearing man or woman? What does it mean to be God fearing, so to speak? We often give this response to make ourselves feel godly or holy, so that others can see us as, oh, she's God fearing or he's God fearing. That is why he must be looking out for a God fearing partner. But the question is, how do you know? How can you tell? What exactly am I looking out for when I want to make a decision? It's not just okay to say a God fearing man. There are a lot of things, because right now we see people who appear to be God fearing, but inside is as dark as only God knows what. And so, as believers, as a Christian, as a covenant child of God, we must be able to put down these things that makes one a God-fearing man. It is not just okay to say, oh, I want a God-fearing man. A God-fearing man, that answer is usually vague, actually. And so I would just like to drop a few tips to making that choice, or what and what to look out for when choosing a partner. You must be a part of the brethren to say, okay, you want to choose from the household of faith, from the house of God. You want to choose a partner. But you see, among those many brethren, you not all of them have the chance to be your partner. You might not be able to work with some of them, and that doesn't mean they are bad. That doesn't mean they are not good, or that doesn't mean they are not okay, individually. But the Bible says, "Can two work together except they be agreed?" So there has to be a point where you agree with someone, especially when it comes to the purpose and direction in life where they are heading to. And so you must be able to agree with their purpose, with their plan, and with the path that they are going as. And this, I'm talking in context of kingdom people, of God's covenant children now. So this is not for everybody. So I'm saying this to you, trying to make a choice, even within your household, even within the household of faith. How do you really make your choice of people, of the person that you believe you can work with? So, because generally speaking, we want to assume that everyone around you is God fearing. You wouldn't be keeping people who doesn't acknowledge God in their life around you. You don't want to keep. You are not. I want to believe that you don't keep people who don't take God seriously around you. So I'm talking to those who have God-fearing people around them now, generally speaking. So it is not enough that you have a God-fearing brother or a God-fearing sister. It's not enough to say, oh, that is what I'm looking out for, because you can have 10 of them who are God-fearing. So, but what exactly am I looking out for in a brother or in a sister? And a few of the things that I believe every believer should hold on to in choosing a partner is, number one, accountability. Accountability. This partner that you want to choose, is he accountable? Who is he accountable to? A lot of people will come and they tell you that, oh, my father is my pastor, which I don't have any issues with that. But the truth is, the father is the father. Many times, fathers can be biased, parents can be biased in some choices, especially with their children. Not everyone does this anyway. However, it is important that there is somebody who is usually not so close, or let me say, who is not, someone who will not treat a situation with bias to be a head or a leader over that person. Accountability is, who does he submit to, or who does she submit to? Does he have a leader? Does he have a pastor? Is he committed to that pastor? Is he committed to that teacher or the discipler or whoever he claims to be accountable to? Look out the relationship between him or her with the pastor, whoever he or she is accountable to. Secondly, relationship either with the same gender, either could be maybe the relationship between him and his friend, or him and the female friend, or her and her friends and her and her male friends. And so you want to look at how is our relationship? Who are those around her? Who are those around him? Now, those are the pointers to tell the kind of person that he or she might be. There's a popular saying that goes, "Show me your friend and I'll tell you who you are." So, finding out who our friends or his friends are is one way to make it also help you make your choice. Relationship with parents. These I should have put at first, but I know that some family, however, not because it's their fault, but situations have actually caused a lot of people to come from a dysfunctional home. However, there is a point where an individual who is willing to build or who is willing to repair a relationship or who is willing to make it work for him or herself would start from the home that he's coming out from. Let me give an example. If a lady grew up under an abusive father, there is no doubt that she would possibly grow up with the mentality that all men are abusive. However, she needs to learn that okay, not all men are abusive, and needs to be able to receive a man into his life, and needs to learn, and there have to be signs to show that okay, she's learning to know, and that is why I started with the first thing, accountability. In the case where a lady do not or didn't grow to have clear understanding, there must have been someone who has been relating with who shows her or him the perfect example. Let me say a better example of how a father or a mother should look like. So that's why I believe that to have someone you should be accountable to, it's not just only your parents, also be accountable to maybe an elder, someone that you believe can also that has a father figure who is also a parent. This is not to dishonor your parent, but most times you just want to have someone who you can seek counsel from, especially when when you hit a crossroad, and many times your parents can help you. It's just the truth. And so most times you just need somebody who can give you, who can make an unbiased judgment. I think that is easier to say. Someone who can make an unbiased judgment, who doesn't really have something to say, maybe has something to lose by telling you some things or not. He will just tell you the way it is. But most parents would want to, protect you in quotes and will not open up many times. So, my third point is your relationship with your parents, or relationship with parents. The relationship of a woman with a father, the relationship of a woman with a mother. Most times, the relationship of that person with the parents would probably transcend into the relationship with you. So that is one key thing to also look out for. Another thing is, what's his relationship with money? Is he a flimsy spender? Is he an extravagant person? Does he spend as it comes? Does he know how to save? Does he know how to handle money, how to handle funds? These are things to also look out for. You don't want to get along with a man who sees everything and wants to buy it. You don't want to get along with a woman who sees everything and just wants to afford it. You need a partner that understands saving culture and investment culture. We don't buy everything as it comes. No plan for the future, no savings, nothing. These are just a few of the things that one should look out for. The first is accountability to your pastors, to your leaders, to those who are elders around you. Who is this person accountable to? You must have a person who is responsible for him. Who does he submit to? And secondly, his relationship with friends, especially with the opposite gender, those who those we relate with, those who he keeps as company or she keeps as company. And thirdly, relationship with parents. The relationship with parents, and how does she communicate, or how does he communicate with the parents? Does he honor them? Does he talk to them anyhow? Does he care for them? And things like that. Lastly, his relationship with money. What kind of relationship do you have with money? Do you treat money like an idol, or do you treat money like it's a two-way thing. You don't want to make money your god. At the same time, you also don't want to spend as it comes, like you just throw money out anyhow. You need to have plan for your money. These are the few things that you should look out for in a man before you make your decisions. I hope this helped.